The first revelation of James, the Nag Hammadi scriptures. It happened that the Master spoke to me. See now the completion of my deliverance. I have already given you a sign of these things, my brother James. For not without reason have I called you my brother. Though you are not physically my brother, I know you well. So when I give you a sign, pay attention and listen. Once nothing existed except the one who is. That one is unnameable and ineffable. I also am unnameable, from the one who is, although I have been given many names. We both come from the one who is, but I am before you. Since you have inquired about femaleness, I tell you, femaleness did exist, but femaleness was not first. It prepared divine powers for itself, but it did not yet exist when I came to be, for I am an image of the one who is. I brought forth the image of the one who is, that the children of the one who is might know what is theirs and what is alien to them. Look, I shall reveal to you every aspect of this mystery. They will arrest me the day after tomorrow, but my deliverance will be near. James said, Rabbi, you said they will arrest me. What can I do? He said to me, Don't be afraid, James. You too will be arrested. Leave Jerusalem, for this city always gives the cup of bitterness to the children of light. This is the dwelling place of many archons, but your deliverance will deliver you from them, in order that you may know who they are and what they are like. You should flee. Listen, it is not everything, but only first fruits. The 12, every one of them, on his own realm of 7. James said, Rabbi, then are there 12 realms of 7 and not 7, as in the scriptures? The Master said, James, the one who spoke through this scripture had limited understanding. I shall reveal to you what has come from the one who is innumerable. I shall give you a sign concerning their number. And as for what has come from the immeasurable, I shall give you a sign concerning their measure. James said, Rabbi, how is that? Look, I have received their number. They are 72 vessels. The Master said, These are the 72 inferior heavens that belong to them. These are the powers of all their might. They have been established by them, and they have been assigned to every place under the authority of the 12 rulers. The power in them, insignificant as it is, brought forth for itself angels and hosts without number. But the one who is was given, because of the one who is without number. If you wish to number them now, you will not be able to do so until you throw off blind thought, this bond of flesh surrounding you. Only then will you attain to the one who is, and then you will no longer be James, but you are that one who is, and all those without number will have names given to them. Rabbi, how shall I attain to the one who is, since all these powers and hosts are armed against me? He said to me, These powers are armed not against you alone, but also against others. These powers are armed against me, and they are armed with other powers. They are armed against me with judgment. I have not been given in it, through them, here, suffering. I shall not reprove them, but within me will be silence and a hidden mystery. I am faint of heart before their anger. James said, Rabbi, if they arm themselves against you, still there is no reason to blame you. You have come with knowledge to reprove their forgetfulness. You have come with remembrance to reprove their ignorance. I was worried about you. For you have come down into profound ignorance, but you were not defiled by any of it. You have come down into thoughtlessness, but your memory stayed with you. You walked in mud, and your garments did not get dirty. You were not inundated with their filth, and they did not apprehend you. I was not like them, but I have clothed myself in all that is theirs. There is in me forgetfulness, but I remember what is not theirs. There is in me, and I am in there. I have found knowledge, and not for their sufferings. Yet I am afraid of them, since they have power. Tell me, what will they do? What can I say? What word can I utter to escape them? The Master said, James, I praise your understanding and your fear. If you continue in your commitment, do not be concerned about anything other than your deliverance. For look, I shall complete what is destined here on earth, as I once said from the heavens, and I shall reveal to you your deliverance. James said, Rabbi, how is that? After this will you appear to us again? After they have arrested you and you complete what is destined, you will go up to the one who is. The Master said, James, after this I shall make everything clear to you, not only for your sake, but also because of the unbelief of people, that faith may come to be among them. For many will attain to faith, and they will grow in until they. And after this I shall appear to rebuke the rulers, and I shall show them that there is one who is invincible. If that one is seized, he will seize all of them. But now I shall go. Remember the things I have told you, and let them enter your heart. James said, Master, I shall hurry to do as you have said. The Master said goodbye to him, and he fulfilled what was fitting. When James heard of the Master's sufferings, he was deeply distressed. They were waiting for the sign of his coming, and it came after some days. James was walking on the mountain called Galgala, along with his disciples, who still listened to him with desire. They had a comforter, and they said, This is the second teacher. The crowd dispersed, but James remained behind and prayed, as was his custom. The Master appeared to him. He stopped praying, embraced him, and kissed him, saying, Rabbi, I have found you. I heard of the sufferings you endured, and I was greatly troubled. You know my compassion. Because of this I wished, as I reflected upon it, that I would never see these people again. They must be judged for what they have done. for what they have done is not right." The master said, "James, do not be concerned for me or these people. I am the one who was within me. Never did I suffer at all, and I was not distressed. These people did not harm me. Rather, all this was inflicted upon a figure of the rulers, and it was fitting that this figure should be destroyed by them. Also, the rulers, the just God became angry with you, since you had been a servant to him. Because of this you have the name James the Just. You see how you will become sober once you have seen me. You stopped praying because you are a just man of God, and you embraced and kissed me. I tell you the truth. You have set in motion great anger and wrath against yourself. But this has happened so that these other things might occur." James was fearful, and he wept. He was greatly troubled. They sat down together on a rock, and the master said to him, "James, this is how you will face these sufferings. Do not be sad. The flesh is weak, and it will get what is ordained for it. But as for you, do not be timid or afraid." The master paused. When James heard this, he wiped away the tears that were in his eyes, and he was greatly relieved from the sadness he felt. The master said to him, "James, look, I shall reveal to you your deliverance. When you are arrested and you face these sufferings, a multitude of people will arm themselves against you in order to seize you. 3 in particular will lay hold of you, those who sit as toll collectors. Not only do they demand toll, they also take away souls by theft. If you fall into their hands, the one who is their guard will say to you, 'Who are you, and where are you from?' You are to say to him, 'I am a son, and I am from the Father.' He will say to you, 'What kind of son are you, and to what father do you belong?' You are to say to him, 'I am from the pre-existent Father, and I am a son in the pre-existent one.' He will say to you, 'With what mandate have you come?' You are to say to him, 'I have come at the behest of the pre-existent one, that I may see those who are ours, those who have become aliens.' He will say to you, 'Of what kind are these aliens?' You are to say to him, 'They are not entirely aliens, but they are from Achamoth, who is female. She produced them when she brought this generation down from the pre-existent one. So they are not aliens, they are ours. They are ours because she who rules over them comes from the pre-existent one. Yet they are aliens, because the pre-existent one did not have intercourse with her when she was about to produce them. When he says to you again, 'Where will you go?' you are to say to him, 'I shall return to the place I came from.' If you say these things, you will avoid their attacks. If you fall into the hands of the 3 detainers, who carry off souls by theft in that place, in order to them, you are to say to them, 'I am a vessel that is more precious than the female who is your mother. As long as she is ignorant of her root, you also will not become sober again. But I shall call upon imperishable knowledge, who is Sophia, who is in the Father, and is the mother of Achamoth. Achamoth had no father or male companion, but she is a female from a female. She created you by herself without a male, since she was ignorant of those who attained to her mother, and she thought that she alone existed. I shall cry up to her mother. Then they will be troubled, and they will blame their root and the generation of their mother. But you will go up to what is yours, after you have thrown off their fetters, the pre-existent one. They are prototypes of the 12 disciples and the 72 companions. Achamoth, which is translated Sophia. You are to hide within yourself who I am, and who imperishable Sophia is, through whom you will be delivered, and who all the children are of the one who is. These matters that they have known and have hidden within themselves. Be quiet about these things, but reveal them to a die. As soon as you leave, there will be war waged against this land, so weep for anyone who dwells in Jerusalem. Let Adai take these things to heart. In the 10th year, Adai is to sit down and write them out. When he has written them out, and they are to give to them, he has the first, who is called by the name Levi. Then he is to bring forth, without words, on the basis of what was prophesied earlier. I say, he is to take a wife outside Jerusalem in her, and he is to produce 2 sons from her. They are to inherit these things, and the understanding of the one who will rise even higher. They are to receive from him a portion of his mind. The smaller is the greater among them. Let these things be shared with him and hidden within him until he is 17 years old. From them, he will be severely prosecuted at the hands of his fellow. He will be proclaimed through them, and he will proclaim this word. Then it will become a seed of salvation. James said, I am encouraged, and they are for my soul. Yet I ask you something else. Who are the 7 women who have become your disciples? Look, all the women bless you. But I wonder how it can be that powerless vessels have become strong through the perception within them. The Master said, You, well, a spirit of thought, a spirit of counsel, and a spirit of knowledge, a spirit of fear. When we passed through the region of this Archon, called Adonias, we, him, and he was ignorant. When I passed by him, he thought I was a son of his. He treated me graciously at that time, as though I were his son. Then, before I appeared in this place, they were cast among this people. But from that, the prophets did not upon you. James said, Rabbi, them all together, who are those among them more than? The Master said, James, I praise you for the accuracy of your word, which is, for you have cast away from yourself the cup, which is bitterness. None of the rulers will be able to stand against you, for you have begun to understand their roots from beginning to end. Cast away from yourself all lawlessness, and beware lest they touch you. When you speak these words of such great perception, exhort this: Salome, Mary, Arsinoe. These he offers up as burnt offerings and sacrifices, but I will not do so. Rather, I will bring first fruits of the imperishable, that the power of truth may be clear. The perishable has gone up to the imperishable, and the work of femaleness has attained to the work of this maleness. James said, Rabbi, into these three, then, has there been cast, for they have been despised and persecuted by. The master said, James, look, I have imparted everything to you. I have in no way, for you have received the first fruits of knowledge, and you know now the place in which you will walk. You will find, but I shall go forth and reveal, because they have trusted you, that they might be convinced, for their blessing and salvation, and that this revelation may come to pass. Then he went at once and admonished the 12, and he instilled in them contentment about the way of knowledge. Most of the judges, when they saw that there was no case against him, left him alone. But the other ones and the people resisted. Rising up, they said, Let us take this person away from the earth, for he is not worthy of life. The first ones were afraid, and they rose up and said, We have no part in this man's blood, for a just man will perish unjustly. James left in order to, My Father in the heavens, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. The revelation of James.